Thank you.
All right, so I'm sharing my screen right now. And the first thing that can be an issue is if you're switching from Confer Zoom, which used to be in the left panel here, to CityZoom, which just came over. Yesterday was the first time I was able to use it. So can you see my screen that says
Yeah.
Zoom? All right.
Yes.
So one of the first things that I have done is I've gone to my homepage and I created this kind of dummy announcement. Now, sadly, the second issue, Robert, that I realize is happening is that now we're all kind of forced to use the new RCE, right? Have you noticed that when you go to edit something, your tool at the top looks a little bit different? Have you noticed that?
No.
So
Okay.
it'll look a little bit different. All of my announcements have a title here. And here, for example, I should probably put the date, and I believe the date for this is going to be February. My husband said that he listened to Paula Poundstone, who said that she was no longer going to talk to anybody who pronounced both R's in February. Let's see here. So I think let me see if it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I think it's the 6th, which is a Saturday. Just to make things clear for them. The next thing is I always put in some sort of banner, and that's because I want students to always instantly recognize that this is an announcement and not some sort of assignment. So the second would be here to go ahead and put my descriptive title. So normally I'm super cheesy. So I start off with something like good morning, da da da. But let's say then I'm going to title this CityZoom. I'm sorry, that was my son. I think that's why I don't keep my sound too loud. Virtual meeting, right? And so this is what I'm going to go ahead and make a little bit larger. So then here, this would have some sort of text. This, to make it accessible, I would go ahead and make this, let me see if I can do this because I normally use the other one. I would use the paragraph up here and I would make this heading 2. And then this here that says CityZoom, I would make that paragraph 3, heading 3. And I might even bold it just if I think that maybe my students might not, it might not catch their eye. Pardon me, so I might make that bold. Now that I've highlighted this, I realize that I need to have copied that link that I need because I don't have that yet. And you probably don't have that link yet. So I'm going to go ahead and with all my announcements, I do this, even if the delay for my announcement is within half an hour, because I don't trust my spelling. I don't trust that I've seen things or I haven't had my coffee yet. So I always delay. And then once I proofread it and I like it, then I send it out. So this I know already I'm going to try to send out on Saturday. Actually, I'm probably going to send this out on Thursday night so that they can prepare in case they want to come in on Saturday. So I'm going to go ahead and send that out then, and I'm going to save it. So right now it's a placeholder, right? So it's in place for me to fill in the city virtual meeting. Next, I'm going to go to my CityZoom. And note, I have a virtual office hours. Those are the ones I normally keep. So these are the regular ones, and I won't open it because then it's going to boot us out, right? But the CityZoom would be separate. That's if I create a scheduled meeting here. So here you can see that I've created one, but I'm going to walk you through how to do that. If you come into CityZoom and you have some weird, I don't know what the icon is. I think it's a spaceship or a green hill or something. And it says something like user not authorized, then that's a whole different conversation. And we can try to walk through that. And each one of you, if there's still only 3, we can try to see and make sure that when you come into a screen, that you can actually use CityZoom. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to schedule a new meeting. And this one, the topic is going to be probably virtual office hours. And I have to be specific because I have other office hours. And so just recap of lecture. I'm just making this up because I don't normally recap anything. They were either there or they weren't. And so let's say that this then is going to be February, just in case I decide to be nice. Let's say I decide that I'm going to do that on Sunday, and I'm going to do it in the morning. 1 hour. This is not going to be a recurring meeting. I cannot imagine having Sunday morning meetings with my students. And then here you have the options for a passcode or a waiting room. You noticed today to jump into this meeting, you were waiting for a little bit. I'm not sure what sort of notification it gave you, or if it told you waiting for host or something like that. And so now it's already here. It's already done. Here's the invitation. If I want to send it to my Google Calendar, I can do that. Normally I do, because I forget. I forget what I was doing or what I decided I wanted to promise. The other thing is that I can create a poll if I want here, and I haven't done that yet. And now what I'm going to do is I can either copy this, just the URL here, which I'm going to do right now because I've already highlighted that. The other thing you can do is you can copy the invitation. And if you copy the invitation, then you, and like I did with you, Robert, last night, I think, then you can copy this invitation. Yeah. And then you can, oh, I didn't. And then you can just copy and paste this entire thing into the announcement, just the way it reads, you know, because then if you have recurring meetings, it will list here. February 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, it will list all of them for your students. And so that's kind of nice if you know it's going to be recurring. For me, this is not recurring. It's a one-time only deal. And so I've already copied that. I'm going to go over to, and I've saved, I'm going to go over to my homepage. And I'm going to click on the first announcement I have there. I'm going to click on announcements because it probably got buried. And then here it is, CityZoom virtual meeting. So I'm going to click on that. I'm going to click on edit. And then let's see if this hasn't changed too much. So here, this is going to be my descriptive link right here, CityZoom virtual meeting. So I'm going to click on that. Then I'm going to move my cursor to the second row of the new RCE, Rich Content Editor. I'm going to click on this little link here. I'm going to click on, well, it is a course. This is what's tricky about this. It is technically a course link because it's in our course, right? But if I clicked on course link, it wouldn't give me that option. So I only know this because I've done it a lot of times. So I know this is going to be considered an external link, because what happens is that whenever we join these meetings, it actually boots us out. I don't know if you've noticed, to our browser and to a different meeting. So here the text is the same. If I notice the typo, this is a chance to fix it as well. And then I'm going to go ahead and paste that new Zoom link. And we know this is CityZoom because they'll have ccsf-edu join, that's the J, and then our meeting ID. If it were Confer Zoom, the old one that we were using, it would say https://ccc confer, and then it would say Confer Zoom, and then it had .zoom US J and then some other numbers.
Yeah.
Monica, I have a question, a quick question right on this spot. Okay. If we use copy and paste instead of link, could we do that?
So what I did was I did copy it. I went over to the CityZoom. Maybe I did that too quickly. And then
I noticed that you copied it, but if you paste it just without using link.
Like that.
Yeah.
Okay. The reason we don't do this just like this is that creates a bare URL. And I know this will sound so pedantic and you're going to think, oh my God, the distance education people have gone absolutely bonkers, right? But so what happens is that for a person who's visually disabled, as minutely as it is, they would have to use a screen reader. And so what it would read is, and instead of reading, dear scholars, text, link to Zoom virtual meeting, it would say, link to HTTPS, blah, 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 blah. And then
if you put a short text in front of it, here is the link to your class.
Then that's even worse. Then that's even worse, because then the screen reader would read it. here's a link to your Zoom meeting, HTTP CCS da 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 da, HTTPS da 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 da. So it would read it twice instead of it just reading, dear scholars, text, link to CityZoom virtual meeting. For someone who's visually impaired, to have to listen to all of the links twice like this, it's just, and so in order to make it accessible, and I'm sorry, I know this just sounds like really weird, and it sounds perhaps even like extra work, right? Instead of just leaving the bare URL like this. And so that's why, to make this accessible, we create these descriptive links or hyperlinks. I'm going to pause now in case you have any questions. I'm going to go ahead and save this here.
So this is for, I'm so sorry, may I ask a question, Monica?
Sure,
so this
absolutely.
Is for a one-time meeting, you have to do it this way.
Yes. Now, if I had decided, if I thought, you know what, I want to meet my students every Sunday morning at 9. You know, it's a good excuse not to go to mass and get infected. Then maybe, then I'm going to say, oh, I'm so sorry, I can't come to mass, I have my students. So then what I would do is that I would go into a CityZoom, which you have here. And then right here, instead of it being like this, where did I put it? Over here, the Sunday one. Instead of it being just the one meeting, I would go in, I would scroll to the bottom and edit this meeting. And then now you're really going to force me to pay attention, or else I'm going to have a recurring meeting. And then I'm going to put here recurring meeting. I'm going to say it's weekly, every Sunday morning, right? And I'm going to repeat it until the end of the semester. So 16, it won't let me, 12 weeks. It's already telling me, Monica, you're crazy. Don't do that. And then here, it's going to be recurring on a Sunday. And let's see, and it will end June 24th, which I might even say that's way too late. There's no way. And then here it has 2022. So I definitely don't want that to happen. Let's say I have it end on my birthday. Okay. And then, or I could say after 15 occurrences, after da da da. Or actually, this is repeat every week.
I think this is going to bring us to our main problem. I want to do this and for the whole semester recurring.
Me too.
Yeah, so you can do that. So here, here, for example, where we said weekly, and then recurs every week on Sunday for me, let's say. Yours could be Monday, Wednesday, and then it ends, and then we're going to say here, what's the end of the semester? I think this is around the end of the semester, right? And then it's, or you could say after 16 occurrences, because we have 16 weeks or 17 weeks. And then does this part make sense here? Because this is how you make it recurring.
No, it does not. Okay. So unless I had a recurrence, I mean, I think it's at first it said daily. So I have to make it, if I have 18 weeks, 5 days a week, I have to put weekly.
If you want it to be a weekly meeting, yes. It depends. If you want that to be a daily meeting, you can select daily. If you're only,
I want it Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So what do I put?
So you click on daily. I'm going to do it as, and I need to remember to come and delete this because there's no way I want to do that. Daily, and then I say recur, it's every day here. It meets after, let me see here, recurring daily by, let's see here. Let me see, it's supposed to let you have recurring daily. Maybe you do have to do it weekly.
No, you should choose
weekly, and then you pick Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
You pick the days.
Yeah, so it's still weekly, but you select what days of that week you want to have them. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then we already have, here's the time, and here's the first starting date, and then the end date. So let me, can you see this whole thing here? So,
yeah, we can see.
Yes, okay. And so again, so it's going to be weekly, but every week you're going to meet on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.
Okay.
Yes, and then you have to have a close date. Now, why? Just because then you could have recurring all the way till 2021 or 2022. And what happens is that it sends notifications to the students.
Right.
It does automatically.
It does automatically. So if you don't correct that, then what happens is that the students well into the summer are still going to get notifications until that Canvas course then gets archived.
Even if I don't send any notification,
Yep,
they will
even if
get
you
it.
don't.
On
Even if
the
you,
college email?
yeah, it's going to be to whatever college, whatever email your students selected in their account, their profile account. So if that was their Hotmail account for the rest of the summer and, you know, until that course gets shelled, archived, then the students will still get those messages. Yes. So are we good here? Because I know I speak really quickly and that's why I
No.
decided to record it for you.
You're good, Monica. I just hope
Yeah.
it works when I do it.
Okay, so what we'll do right now is I'm not going to cancel this because I'm sorry, I don't want to have to meet
Yeah,
with
don't
my
cancel.
students.
I don't need it now. Yeah.
All right. And so what I will do is I'll go back to course meetings here. And I know I'm not going to meet with them on Sunday. I just know I'm not. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this here and I'm going to see if I can delete this. Delete this meeting. And I'm going to delete it. Just because if I leave it there accidentally, then there will be issues. All right. So I'm going to stop share right now.
Yeah.
And so I don't know, Robert, we're still going to try to see if we can come back and each one of you, we can have you walk through and make sure your CityZoom works. And there are things that I can't do administratively, but maybe I can guide you and point you in the right direction. But let me see what questions you had in the chat. How to schedule class meetings for the whole semester. Did we cover that, Sophia?
I think so.
Okay. And
maybe the link is a little bit complex for me. I don't know. Placing the link with the ID, meeting ID would be maybe some difficulty. But
okay.
I'm not sure.
And so what I will definitely do is I'm going to save this video. I'm going to stop recording now.